Welcome to bLUtalks.
So I am so excited to be here, and I want to expand on being at the right place at the right time and also game-changing moments. We're going to talk about flipping your script and growing the life you love, because I want to congratulate all of you for being the leading role in your own lives. You're like the leading role. It's your life. That's amazing. You're like the star of everything you do. Not only that, you're the playwright, you're the director, and you're the producer. So I want to talk a little bit about how I got to where I am and how flipping my script has helped me grow an incredible life I love. I got here today in an RV. An intention that was set years ago, and now I have an incredible fiance, my best intentional work of art, who would have been here today, but he had other things to do, and we are traveling for a year, and it happened to be that we were in San Diego at the right time. Not only that, I did have a debilitating autoimmune disease at the age of 19. It affected my peripheral nerves, and I wasn't paralyzed all at once. It started slowly, and that's some freaky stuff right there. Couldn't feel my feet or my toes, couldn't feel my legs, couldn't stand up, and it progressed. And I want to talk about the power of belief in growing the life you love, because that's at the root of everything. Our mind is fertile. The seeds of thought that we sow grow, without exception, like gravity. Gravity doesn't care if you're rich or poor, if you're standing right here in front of the stage or you're sitting here watching me and spending your valuable time with me here today. Gravity is without exception, and so are the thoughts that we think. They will grow in this fertile mind of ours. So let me get back to being paralyzed and now standing here. What I recognized was the power of belief. I was told it would take 2 to 2.5 years before I would fully recover physically. I didn't even take into consideration the emotional component that came into play with this process of becoming paralyzed. 2.5 years? No way. I was 19, I was on a roll. I was following the Grateful Dead. I had a successful tie-dye business, and all of a sudden, I was stopped in my tracks. Literally stopped in my tracks. And I made a commitment. I set an intention that in 3 months, I would walk out of the hospital with no physical therapy, no cane, no wheelchair. And 3 months, 3 hospitals later, I walked out of the hospital, bought a one-way ticket to St. Thomas to find my friend in Tortola, the British Virgin Islands, and I became a charter chef. And I decided from that moment on that I had a second chance. And I made a vow to myself to make a life for myself as opposed to a living to support my life. And it was a gift. It was a huge gift. This incredible event that stopped me in my tracks changed my life. And I'm going to tell you one more life-changing experience and why I'm standing on stage today. We're in San Diego, not that far from Santa Barbara. My fiance's sister and brother-in-law were in a deadly fire over Labor Day weekend, not even a month ago. They were on a dive boat, the dive of their lives. The boat caught fire, and they have now transitioned. And it seems horrible and devastating to a lot of us, but they were doing what they loved, with who they loved. And it was late at night and early in the morning, and they were asleep. Here's the thing, we're all in line. We're all in line. So I have to say it's been the biggest gift for my fiance and I to recognize that the mission that we're on, to inspire people to grow the lives they love and to celebrate every moment of their life, has been affirmed by this game-changing moment. So every single moment, every thought that you think, every seed that you sow Right now is what matters. So let's get into flipping our script. So this is going to be interactive, okay? Yes, I'm not sure if everyone knows what EFT is, but emotional freedom technique is like taking an acupuncturist and a psychologist and putting them together and throwing out the needles. So I want you all to think, before I continue, think of something that shows up in your life that you know, without a shadow of a doubt, is holding you back from truly growing the life you love. Because listen, it's your life. It's your life. Own it. How many times do we take our thoughts and we put them outside of ourselves? Where are you putting your precious energy? Where's your focus? Because what you're focusing on is going to grow. So if you're focusing on something else and expecting the other thing to grow, it's not going to happen, and we're going to talk about that in a little while. So I want you to think about this, what thoughts are you sowing in your life right now? Because right now is all that matters. Forget about 5 minutes ago or what you're going to think about in an hour. I want you to think of a thought that you know innately is holding you back, because we're going to do a little hands-on EFT at the end of this talk. So get excited, because you're going to pull a thought weed. And how's your life growing? Right? We're like, oh, we hear all the time, oh, just change your perspective. Our perspective is our reality, period. And one thought is all it takes. One thought, and your entire reality can change. It's amazing. Your perspective is your reality. Everyone out here sitting looking at me is having a totally different experience. Everyone's perspective is different. And that's a gift. It's amazing. It's life-changing. So think about the thoughts that you're sowing. Take a moment to reflect on how your life is growing. And that's going to give you a little bit of sort of an inside, hidden scoop on where you're at right now. How's your life growing? Are you the leading role in the life that you love? Well then, good for you. Go for it, keep doing what you're doing, and keep growing. So here's what happens. We have thought weeds. I like to call them thought weeds. They're thought weeds, right? And they grow roots in our paradigm, in what I call our subconscious hard drive. The thing about our subconscious hard drive, it has unlimited space. It never gets full, but we buffer. Do you ever find yourself buffering? I buffer. I find myself buffering, and I'm like, what thought am I thinking? What is seated in my subconscious hard drive that's really holding me back from growing and living the life that I want to continue to love? So what are your thoughts? What are these thought weeds that might be holding you back? I'm going to take this a step further, because it's not as simple as, oh, I have some negative thoughts and I could just get rid of them. A lot of times we hear that and we're like, oh, I already know, but if I knew what to do, I'd do it. Right? If I knew how to get rid of the thought weed, I would just pull it and I'd plant something new. It starts at a young age. Okay, this is where the roots start, between the ages of 0 and 7. Okay, our subconscious is wide open. We look at our parents to learn how to love, and how to love ourselves, and how to recognize our own value. I want to tell you right now, your value is priceless. Your value is priceless. And as soon as we recognize that our value is priceless, then we recognize that the thoughts that we're thinking and the words that we're speaking make an impact. They matter. But if you don't think you matter, then it doesn't seem to matter what you say, because it's not going to have any effect on anything. So your value is priceless. And if you don't believe that, then we need to figure out what thought weed's holding you there, and where did that come from? And how old are you right now when you feel that way? Are you grown up, what I call badass self? Or are you stuck at an age where it started? And is that version of you running your show right now? Probably. And that's the good news, because we could go in, pull the weed with the EFT, and then you can kind of get back on track, and you can now be in control of your own life, and the choices, and the decisions, and the intentions that you set. So think about a thought weed, because we're going to pull it, and you're not going to take it home with you today. So this is the thought weed garden. I'm not enough. I have all this fear. It's holding me back. I'm blaming someone else. When we blame somebody, we're really angry. And you know what? Anger is our best friend. I don't know if you've ever heard this before. Anger lets us know that we deserve more. Anger reminds us that our boundaries have been crossed, or maybe we feel betrayed. But that's an inside job. The blaming is an outside emotion that we can do nothing with. But if you look at what you're blaming as a gift and say, well, maybe this is an opportunity for me to set boundaries. Maybe this is an opportunity for me to recognize what it is that I need to support myself unconditionally. So anger is a gift. What you do with anger, a whole other talk, right? So anger and acting out in anger are two different things, but when we have that emotion come up, it's a beautiful reminder that we deserve more. But then we have Mindseedz. I call them Mindseedz. Seeds that you want to plant in your mind so they grow the life you love. So these are positive thinking. Today's a great day for a great day. I give you this Mindseed. Take it with you. Anytime you have a moment or a thought will pop up, if you just let yourself know that today's a great day for a great day, it is neutral enough that you will watch your day unfold in a totally different way. The magic will happen. It will just show up. Because how it shows up and when it shows up is none of our business. It's tuning in to the station, right? It's tuning in to the frequency, to the vibration. And then like gravity, there's another natural force that will take over. And it's a gift. It's awesome. You know, like if you're driving down the road and you're listening to country, that doesn't mean the hip-hop station's not available. All you have to do is turn the dial. Right? So it's tuning in. So we're going to tune in. And this is your Mindseed garden. Right? All love, abundant health, abundant wealth, trusting, loving yourself unconditionally, recognizing your own value. We're all sitting here today, and I'm standing on the stage today because really we want to feel better. We want to love what we're doing and love who we are and feel like we're enough. So any goal that you set, any car that you want to buy, or place that you want to move to, anything that you want to do that you think you need to have in order to feel happy is false. Because happiness is free. Happiness is freaking free. It's free. So what are you using right now as the excuse to hold you from making the choice and giving yourself permission to be happy? Here we go. Are you ready? If you are thinking thought weeds, you're never going to get a Mindseed to grow. If you plant a tomato seed, you will never get a cucumber. It's not possible. It is not possible to plant a tomato seed, water it, give it whatever it needs, and expect cucumbers to grow. So if you're walking around thinking things that you don't want to have happen, expecting what you want to have happen, you're out of luck. It just can't happen. It just can't happen. Okay, so I'm going to teach you, right? Because it's one thing to sit here and go, thought weeds, Mindseedz, this is what you got to do. Good luck. Go on with your badass self. I want to give you some tips, okay? We're going to do a session together where we're going to pull the thought weed. So I want you guys to think of the thought weed that you might have that you would like to pull, leave here, and you're going to plant a Mindseed. I'll give you a Mindseed to plant. So you need to recognize the thought weed first. And how do we do that? Get your eyes on your own paper. Get your eyes on your own paper. Where are you putting your valuable energy and your focus? And is what you're focusing on giving you the return on your investment that you're worth? Probably not, if it's negative, right? Probably not. So we want to recognize the thought weed. Do you think I'm not enough? What am I going to do? I should have done this. I could have done that. Do you celebrate your wins? Do you celebrate your wins? The little wins. They're like, oh my gosh, I'm here today, in the audience, getting inspired. Maybe I'm going to pull a thought weed. And now I'm recognizing my value is everything. Right? That's a gift. So, this is when we flip our script. You've got your eyes on your own paper. Are you getting a return on that investment? Because I'll tell you what, a lot of times we put so much attention towards something outside of ourselves, and I promise you, you would never invest your money in it. If it's not yielding a proper return, we don't invest our money in it, but we spend our lives focusing our valuable energy on things that do not yield the return on our investment. So anything is possible when you believe it is. Anything is possible when you believe it is. So here's the thing. You know, when you're growing up and you hear, you don't always get what you want. You don't always get what you want. Well, whoever said it was right, you can set them free, forgive them for blaming them for telling you that you don't get what you want, because you don't get what you want. You get what you believe. If you have a want and a desire and you don't believe it, it hurts. And the longer you have a want and a desire and you don't believe it's possible, it turns into disease. Physical disease. It will manifest in the body. Emotional disease, depressed, anxiety. So what do you want that you don't believe is possible? Because this is it. It's that simple. Now it's just simple. Just ain't that easy. Because if it was just that easy, we would just do it, right? But just ain't that easy. But desire plus belief can equal the life you love. And why aren't you believing what you want is possible? Because you don't know how? Because you don't think you deserve it? Because somebody told you it wasn't possible, coming from their perspective, which is their reality? It's an inside job. Happiness is free, but it's an inside job. It's free. Happiness doesn't care. For the taking, like oxygen, like gravity, like the wind. It's free. Isn't that like exciting? I get so excited. I'm like, oh my God, happiness is free. I don't need to have a lot of money or a lot of clients or a huge career. Happiness is free. So let's get your desires and wants and beliefs and pull a thought weed. So I gave us a little slide here. For those of you who are familiar with EFT or tapping, like I said, we're working on the same meridians or wiring in the body as an acupuncturist does, but we're tapping on very specific points. Each point is actually related to an organ, emotions that we release, emotions that we allow, and I'm not going to get into it because I want to get to it. Okay? So what we're going to do is, I want you all to think of a thought weed. Okay? Something that shows up in your life, regardless of what you're consciously doing. You're like, oh my God, I thought I got rid of that. Really? I'm responding this way again? And then I also want you to think, how old are you? What version of you are you when that weed shows up? When that quick response that you say, I'm never going to respond that way again, shows up. I guarantee you, you are not who you are in this version of yourself right now. It's a younger version. And I want you to give it, okay, so we're going to deal with emotional response. If you're in physical pain, that's good too, because find something physically that hurts, give it a number from 1 to 10. Okay, I want you to give it a number from 1 to 10. If you're not in physical pain, but you have a thing, the thing that keeps showing up, you're going to feel it in one or all of these places. In your gut, in your chest, in your throat, or in your head. It could be more than one. Think of the thing, go inward, give it a number. From 1 to 10, 10 being the most frustrating, the most disappointing, feeling the most hopeless. And then we're going to do what I call freestyle or EFT. I'm going to put this down. And then I also want you to do this for me. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to trust me. You don't even know me. But I will ask you to suspend your disbelief. Suspend your disbelief for the next 5 minutes. Put it under the chair, stick it in your pocket. I don't care what you do with the disbelief. Just suspend the disbelief, because you and I will both get the maximum out of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the tapping points, and you guys can tap along with me. And then I'm going to guide this. And since we're working with a group here, I'm going to make it very generic. It's going to be called the story and the thought weed attached. Okay, and you're all going to know what that is, okay? That's going to be your own story and your own thought weed. So I'm going to make it very sort of generic. So we're going to start on does everybody have a number? Everybody's got their thing, their thought weed. She's yawning already, which means you're moving energy. That's great. Yawning, sneezing, burping, any kind of movement of energy is just the idea of it works, right? Okay, so we're going to start at the side of the hand, which is called the karate chop. And we're just going to tap gently. I use both hands for all of this because I feel like if we're going to do it, we're going to double down, right? We might as well just go all the way with this. So we're going to start tapping on the side of the hand. The next point is under the eyebrow. And it's gentle. All you need to do, these tapping is just sending a little surge. Some people are like tapping really hard and like it doesn't work faster. Side of the eye. If you have glasses, you might want to take them off if you can still see me. Under the eye. Under the nose. Chin. Collarbone, right under the collarbone. Under the arm. I always say by your bra line, and if you're a guy, you probably know where the bra line is. And if you don't, you will. And then top of the head. Okay, so these are the tapping points that we're going to use today. I want you to stop and I want you to check back in. Check back into the thing and the thought weed. See if it changed. See if the number already changed. See if the feeling might have even shifted. And if it did, give it a new number. Figure out where it went. Sometimes if it's in the gut, it'll move up to the solar plexus and into the throat. So just check back in and give it a new number. Ready? Yeah. Let's go. So we're going to go to the side of the hand, and you're going to repeat after me. This is the important part. So I'm going to start, and you're going to repeat after me. And I'm going to walk you through this a couple of times, and then we'll see where we go, okay? So the side of the hand, we're going to say, even though. Even though. I have this thought weed. I have this thought weed. And it's been there for as long as I can remember. And it's been there for as long as I can remember. And it is holding me back. And it is holding me back. And I am so tired of being held back. And I'm so tired of being held back. I'm like over it. I'm like over it. So this thought weed. This thought weed. That I thought I pulled a long time ago. Is still there. It's still there. Maybe I just cut it off at the top. Maybe I just weed whacked it. Maybe I just weed whacked it. And I didn't get the root. But I'm tired of being held back. And even though I'm tired of being held back, I deeply and completely recognize the value of loving, trusting, and supporting myself unconditionally. I might not do it. But I do recognize the value of it. We're going to go to the eyebrow. This thought weed. And all the negative emotions attached. Side of the eye, this thought weed. And the stories I tell about it attached. Under the eye, sometimes the stories I tell feel worse than the thought weed itself. Under the nose, this thought weed. And the stories I tell about it. I wonder if I can find a way to stop telling the story so much. Chin, this thought weed. And the stories I keep telling about it. And the thoughts I keep thinking about it. I wonder if it feels safe to let some of it go. Collarbone, this thought weed. This negative feeling inside.
This negative feeling inside.
Being held back.
Being held back.
I'm so tired of being held back.
I'm so tired of being held back.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
To be ready.
To be ready.
To let some of it go.
To let some of it go.
Under the arm. I'm ready to be ready.
I'm ready to be ready.
To let some of it go.
To let some of it go.
I might not even need to know how to let it go.
I might not even know how to let it go.
Top of the head, I always thought I needed to know how.
I always thought I needed to know how.
What if just being ready to be ready
What if just being ready to be ready
is enough?
is enough?
Is a good start?
It's a good start.
It feels good to be ready to be ready.
It feels good to be ready to be ready.
Under the eyebrow, this thought weed.
This is not me.
Side of the eye. I wonder if there's a message attached.
I wonder if there's a message attached.
I wonder if there's a message in this thought weed.
I wonder if there's a message in this thought weed.
Under my eye, letting me know
Letting me know
that my value is priceless.
that my value is priceless.
Under the nose, what if this thought weed has been there to test me
What if this thought weed is in there to test me
and help me recognize my own value?
and help me recognize my own value?
Chin, this thought weed.
This thought weed.
I'm ready to be ready to let it go.
I'm ready to be ready to let it go.
Collarbone. I feel better.
I feel better.
I feel lighter.
I feel lighter.
I'm ready to let it go.
I'm ready to let it go.
It's safe to let it go.
It's safe to let it go.
We're going to stop for a second. And take a deep breath in through your nose, filling up your abdomen if you can, and letting it out through the mouth. 2 more times, in and out. 1 more time, in and out. And I want you to check back in. Think of the thing, the thought weed. See if it feels different. Is it taking up so much prime real estate in your space right now? Is it less? Did it move? Are you looking at it from the outside, looking in? You can open your eyes when you're ready. I want to leave you with this. It's your life. Grow a beautiful, happy, inspired, loving life now. Not based on your goals and your plans. Not what you think needs to happen to give yourself permission to love yourself enough, to be happy and enjoy. And always remember that your thoughts create your reality. And your perspective is your own. So when you keep your eyes on your own paper, and you check in, your life will change. Whatever's happening to anyone else, whatever you're looking at and judging, saying that should be different and this should be different, let it go. It's none of your business. Because you're the change in the world. You're the miracle. So when you're happy and excited and inspired, you can start an epidemic. Right? That's a great epidemic to start. So when you're the best version of you, then you're the best version for everyone else around you. You're the gift. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I appreciate each and every one of you. And just remember that your possibilities are always endless, and that today is a great day for a great day. Thank you.